Oh, hi, Private Mack from Texas Parks and Wildlife's Buffalo Soldiers Heritage and Outreach Department. I want to thank you for joining me today. We are getting out and enjoying this beautiful outdoors. And today we're going to talk to you a little bit about Buffalo Soldiers. We travel all across this beautiful state of Texas. And one question we always ask, no matter where we are, is, do you know what a Buffalo Soldier is? Now, if you know what a Buffalo Soldier is, say yes. If you don't know what a Buffalo Soldier is, say no. A Buffalo Soldier was your first professional African-American soldier in the United States military. In 1866, when these regiments were formed, were we called Buffalo Soldiers? Think about that for a second. Oh, you don't know, huh? Well, no, we weren't. Now, do you know who gave us that name then? No, it was the Native Americans that gave us that name. Do you think the Native Americans were teasing us when they gave us the name Buffalo Soldier? Nah, I don't think so. See, the buffalo was a sacred animal to the Native Americans. And why would they tease us by giving us the name of an animal that's so special to them? Just doesn't make sense now, does it? Well, I'm going to tell you how we got the name Buffalo Soldier. See, they said there was 3 reasons why the Native Americans gave us the name Buffalo Soldiers. And you got to understand, when they gave us this name, they weren't used to seeing the African-American man in the white man's uniform. And when they saw something out there in the wild they weren't familiar with, they tried to compare it to something out there to get an understanding of what it was. One of the reasons why they called us Buffalo Soldiers was that when they saw us and they saw our skin and they saw our eyes, they said our dark skin reminded them of the dark fur on the buffalo, and our eyes reminded them of the dark, fiery eyes of the buffalo. That was number 1. Now, the second reason was when they saw our hair. They said that our hair reminded them of that short, curly hair between the horns of the buffalo. Does anybody know what they call that short, curly hair between the horns of the buffalo? Well, Private Mack can tell you. They call that the sacred mane. Now, the third reason by far is my favorite. See, they said when they saw these soldiers in battle and they seen how brave, how tough, and how tenacious they were, they said it reminded them of the biggest, baddest animal out there on the prairie. And I bet none of y'all know what I'm talking about now, do you? And you better not say prairie chicken. Well, they saw how brave, how tough, and how strong they were. And they started calling these men, because of these 3 reasons, Buffalo Man or Buffalo Soldier. Being in the military gave us several opportunities. 1, adventure. 2, pay. And 3, and this was my favorite of them all, an education. See, one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about the Indian Wars is that all these men or all we did was fight. That couldn't be further than the truth. We actually did more building than we did fighting. I probably carried a hammer or a shovel more than I carried my carbine or my pistol. Some of the things that we did was build roads, string thousands of miles of telegraph wire and sink those poles in the ground. We also rebuilt forts and built new forts as the frontier moved forward. And in this, we learned skill sets so that once we did get out the military, we were prepared to live a life on our own as freed men. There's so much more I can tell you about these Buffalo Soldiers, and we will on some of our upcoming videos. But fortunately for you, you can relive some of our adventures by going out and visiting some of these open spots, some of these state parks that the Buffalo Soldiers may have been in, or some of the historic sites that we have throughout the state of Texas. Oh, and I almost forgot, we can help you relive some of these amazing adventures the Buffalo Soldiers had as well. 1, by you coming out to one of our programs at some of these beautiful parks that we have here. 2, by having us host a virtual program for you. Well, I hope you learned a little bit of something about the Buffalo Soldiers today, but keep an eye out. We will be doing more of these exciting videos. So with that being said, Private Mack out.